2, 3.
Good morning. This is Mike Yazina of Menorcan Magic Custom Handmade Cast Nets here in beautiful ancient city, St. Augustine, Florida. What I thought I wanted to talk to you about today is a couple of words that are used really freely. If you go online looking for a cast net, there's plenty of people out there selling cast nets that they call them custom handmade. I'm going to show you a custom handmade cast net here in just a minute, but I'll talk to you just briefly about I had a problem, I guess, but it's what people do. It's kind of like if you're going to advertise, you got some stuff at home you want to sell, you put an ad in under the garage sale. Sounds a lot better if you put estate sale. You're going to get a lot more people interested in it than if you put yard sale or garage sale. Well, custom handmade sounds better than cast nets for sale. I guess that's my point I'm trying to get to you. Maybe that's why they use it, but I have issues with how can you call a machine-made material, whatever it may be, whether it's a nylon or whether it's a monofilament. 99% of the nets made now are made out of monofilament, made by a machine. Monofilament is made by a machine. The Japanese patented the webbing machine back in 1952. Anyhow, so with that said, how in the world you can take and sew flat panels together and call it custom handmade. Enough said with that. That's their bailiwick. Here at Menorcan Magic, we make custom handmade cast nets. Everything we do is handmade. There's no only machine involvement in our nets is a machine that makes the webbing, whether it's nylon or dacron. The solid braid 1/4 inch. I use solid braid 1/4 inch nylon for the lead line, and of course I make my own lead sinkers. And then we use, of course, poly hand line, which is use a 3/8 because it's so much easier on your hands than most of these these nets you buy. If you buy nets, which are fine, that you buy online, they use a little flimsy, small diameter hand line, which is a little hard on your hands. But I use that, and I use a real cow horn for the horn and the swivel. Now, let's get to the word. This is handmade. It's absolutely everything on this net is handmade, except, like I mentioned earlier, this is what's custom about this is this gentleman wanted a 5/16 mesh shrimp net. Now, what I do to call this, what you call it custom, is it is. Up in the top, I put a 50-pound test dacron as opposed to the 30, which is the rest of the way. But you handle the top of a net. This is when you pick that net up. Here's where you're handling it up in the top. Now, with a shrimp net, when you throw a net over shrimp, they come up. They come to the top, then they go down. So they'll bunch up here in the top of this net, and that's where it gets a lot of uses. So I'll put a heavier material. You can call that custom. Then I followed this on down, and I use a shrimp net sinker instead of these big heavy things. These sinkers are made for a shrimp net, and as you see down at the bottom, where this drags on the bottom, when you cast it and pull it in, it drags on the bottom. I put some more 50-pound tests down at the bottom of this, which supports that, gives it, little extra strength around that bottom. Really, I don't know what else you can say about something that's custom made. There's a lot of things that's custom made. And handmade is something, if you look it up in the dictionary, handmade is something made by hand. There's no machine involvement in it. That's handmade. I tied every knot in that net. There's probably 40,000 knots in that net. I'm a good guess. I can sit down with a calculator to tell you exactly to the knot how many's in it, but I'm guessing it's probably 40,000 knots. There's no seams. That is a continuous circle. A handmade net is a continuous circle, round and round and round. When you run out a cord, you fill the needle, refill your needle, and splice back, tie back in, and away you go. So, with we're here, like I said, in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. You can find us. We have a new little, just a single web page under MENORCAN Menorcan Magic, MAGIC, one word, .com. It just covers the basic stuff, how to contact us if you're interested in nets or just want to chit chat. Love to hear from you. And our phone number here is 904-217-7974 if you want to give us a call and talk to us. So I'd like to hear from you. As summer's starting to wind down, and before long here, the mullet run starts here, sometimes starts in September, when we start getting what we call the northeasters, when the wind blows out of the northeast for several days. And I don't know, northeast wind, I've said this before, is traveling music for fish. They'll travel on the northeast wind, and usually mullet run from north to south. So we're looking forward to the mullet run. Shrimp season is coming in. That's the beauty about this. People I've had a rash of calls for shrimp nets. This is a 7-foot. To me, that's a little bit big for a bait net. If you just want to catch bait, 5 or 6 foot is plenty big enough to catch some shrimp and finger mullet and things to fish with. And this gentleman wants a 7-foot. He wanted an 8, and I talked him down to a 7. I said, "Holy cow, that's a lot of work." I mean, just visualizing. It took me, I think, of course, the widening stop about 8 or 9 rows from the bottom, so that the number of mashes stops with that. Got like 560 mashes at the bottom. So with that said, I think I've went on enough. For goodness sake, stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. Until the next time, again, this is Menorcan Magic Handmade Cast Nets in St. Augustine. For now.